So
wait, let me just take my first take on this one then, because I got it, and it's completely related to Spirit Academy. Okay,
what the fuck?
To do it. Okay,
it's gonna be kyousuke take. Come on, hit me with it.
Yeah, you already know. Like, okay, despite the fact that Spirit won, despite the fact that magixx had that performance in the grand finals,
he's gonna kick magixx after the final. Oh
they
my
should
God, come
still
on.
remove him and get
hell.
kyousuke. They should still get him instead of magixx. The rest of the season would be so much easier. Magixx is so frequently a hindrance to that team. I know what he did in the grand finals. I just saw it. That's why it's a hot take show, okay? Because magixx, more often than not, is a liability to this team, even more so than Chopper as an individual, okay? He gets run over on his bomb sites regularly. He can lose to pistols, even when he has an M4. He doesn't always even get the trade kills when he needs to. And for whatever reason, he's not going first every single time. True. You know, if he was going in front of Donk or something like that, then there would even be more of an excuse. But now, if I had kyousuke going 1 and 2 with Donk in any kind of entry path, Zontix can more naturally fit his late round position, and then also Chopper could be kind of more of a mid-late round guy himself, and Shiro could be a late round guy. The way that the team is structured as it stands is just, if kyousuke and Donk are both of the entry pack players, my God, are they just disgusting. So I would still make the move today, regardless of magixx's heroic grand finals performance, which should be remembered and praised, and I will do that, and I did do that on the desk of the major. But this is still how I feel about the team. kyousuke is better.
That is a hot take, Kazan. You got to give him that. That is quite a hot take.
No, I'm just thinking like whose nudes he had in PGL to get that desk spot to be the analyst for the major. Like, is he that Silvio guy? Who is it? Like, it has to be someone with that take.
By the way, also technically an even more edgy joke than Kassad realizes about. If you think about how this year went, but don't worry about that, because listen, Kassad's Kassad. He's going to do what he's going to do. Don't worry about it.
That is so wrong on so many fucking levels. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I remember back, like when we were talking about Rain, and he needs to be removed from phase, and then he goes when they want that. What did they mean? Stockholm or something?
Chengdu.
Yeah, no.
Oh no, you meant Antwerp.
That was probably Antwerp.
Antwerp. Yeah, Antwerp. And then he was the MVP of the finals. Yes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he has this great performance, and everybody's, oh yeah, Rain is the fucking GOAT. He needs to stay. Who do you want to kick? And now we have magixx, who drops plus 30 on the grand final of a major, the biggest possible game in his career, and then there is Maui saying, oh yeah, they should just still kick him. Like, that have to apply in both ways. But for some reason, for you, it doesn't.
As far as I know, also, Maui would also kick Rain, but okay, just to be fair.
The reason why I'm saying it because he defended Rain.
Right, I see what you mean, right afterwards, you mean. I see what you mean then, okay.
But the other point is, kyousuke is a good, talented kid, right? Yes. 1-2 on the T side, yes, okay. On the CT side, what the fuck he's gonna do? Who is gonna be your soft anchor there? Kyousuke is gonna be your soft anchor on the side? No, absolutely fucking not. Hard anchor, Zontix, okay, he can stay. Soft anchor, somebody who can be patient. Do you think kyousuke can be patient? Absolutely fucking not. Do you think kyousuke is the guy who's gonna drop the flash to cave for Donk on Anubis? Absolutely fucking not. Is he gonna be the one flashing out Donk on the CT side, on Anubis on B side? Absolutely fucking not. So for him, naturally to fit into that role, for me is a big mistake. Maybe the guy is like versatile. Maybe he can change and then adapt. Yeah, I don't know it. I don't know the kid. But overall, from the eye test, from all these things that we see that he plays in the Spirit Academy, the way he plays is the similar, like a copy paste of the main team, where things are being done for him. Like, things are happening around for him. The frags are being setting up for him. And he obviously delivers because he's sharp and he's good. Donk delivers because he's incredibly good. And incredibly talented and sharp. And, like, he doesn't miss. So, all these things, like, you cannot set up so many frags for both players. And especially if you put them on the same side. I gave you the example of Anubis CT side, B side. Because magixx is there, right? Together with Donk.
Yep.
And Chopper is the middle guy, and then the Zontix is A, Shiro is the rotation, right? So if you put those two people on paper, it's going to be, oh, you cannot enter the site, but it doesn't fucking work that way. you need to be proactive. You need to be like doing shit with your utility. You need to be counter flashing. You need to be calling the rotation, to be reading the route. Somebody needs to set up the kill in the crossfire. Somebody needs to be the first fucking target. Somebody needs to be the second. It's so much more than just putting two sharp people on the site and saying, okay, you two kids are good and then we're fine. It doesn't work that way. That used to work like that in 2016 or something. But now, not so much. So him going to that lineup, for me, I don't think so. Removing magixx, maybe he right now would be, I don't know, is the maybe not unethical, but it would be like kind of wrong in a sense because of the performance that he put in. I think that qualifies him to get a little bit more credit because many better or players that we consider better got so many more chances. So for him to be stacked after that performance in the final, even though after he won that, like he kept sitting down in his chair. I don't know what the fuck was that, but I guess everybody celebrates the way they celebrate. I don't know. It looked weird. But anyway,
you have to understand, Kassad, literally, obviously he wasn't smiling because the game was over. No. About 5 seconds later, the devil was going to appear and claim his soul that he sold before the match. It's the only reason he was able to frag like that. So he knew that the game was over. Look, he won, but that's it. He's off to hell. Yeah, he's off to hell now, mate.
Because that
was the fucking life, mate. That was a life game and a half. That fucking fight, that was mental. He kept doing it the whole way. It was mad.
Maybe the kid is just not the something that we expect as fucking whatever. But it doesn't really matter. The point is
he had to reformat his hard drive right after.
Exactly.
The point is
he delete some DLLs. He was like, "Oh, excuse me, admin. I've just got to delete those notes. You know that notepad? What is it? Word.exe? Yeah, listen, that was just our notes from the game. I don't want anyone seeing those, so I'm just going to put them in the recycle bin." Right. Anyway, is that the end of Kassad's them all?
Yes.
Right. Here's the thing. I don't agree with Maui, but I do at the same time. Here's the problem. I actually think both of you have nailed something there, which is one of the reasons. This is where I can't get a fucking break, mate. Everyone who watches this show knows I'm one of the few Team Spirit supporters. Everyone else probably thought I was overhyping them most of the year. But knowing my luck, right, because they're all bloody speaking Russian, I won't say who, but certain people from Spirit who I've been talking to were going like, and why? Can you please tell me why you are criticising us so much? Like, I'm one of the only ones who's not! Everyone else in the whole scene's like, you're all washed, you kicked the fucking players. There's only one of you good on the team. By the way, you even know guys on Spirit, like, they all don't even think Shiro's good, for fuck's sake. Like, they're all saying he's a bomb and making him sound like wonderful in Navi or some shit like that. So, but anyway, I understand that, as usual, I will always be misunderstood by everyone until I'm probably dead, and then at my funeral, you'll all go like, maybe yes, I had to point that guy. Anyway, so to bring it all the way back, what I will say is this. The problem I have is it depends on the role, like Kassad was implying. Like, I do think as an overall, if I just look at the big picture of Team Spirit, one of the most obvious problems they have is actually present in that final. Guys, they almost went to OT or actually got 2-0'd while Donk was doing like impossible fracking in the fucking game. So that means if this magixx performance didn't happen, sure, Shiro could have played a bit better. They could easily have still lost while, I mean, by the way, what if Donk just gets 27 kills instead of 30? You know what I mean? It's just like they wouldn't even have won. So first things first, I'm sorry if your Spirit, one of your problems, believe it or not, is firepower. And it's also, like, not only is it firepower anyway, because sometimes, this is the biggest problem, I always say this is why I understand why people criticise Zontix, because magixx and Chopper are usually, statistically, such low fraggers, that if Zontix has a bad game, you have got Donk and then whatever you get from Shiro, which could be good, but that's 2 players having to do, like, the work of what normally would be 3 players in terms of fragging. Normally what 3 people who get you on the scoreboard. And so here's the problem. I actually think magixx's problem is Zontix. If Zontix was a bigger fragger, magixx could do what actually Kassad's inferring, which is the problem. If it was a different team, Kassad, if I can make a Russian super team and I put magixx in, like, my perfecto inter spot, he's really good at it. What you saw in that final, forget the frags. Look, it was insane that he was just headshotting people first bullet, etc. But if you actually just watch, especially the nuke game, I want people to go back and watch the nuke CT side. That is some of the best CT nuke play I have actually seen in CS2 / maybe even CS2. Like, he actually played some fucking like, every single round, no joke, he had a different setup and a different look with his site partner, by the way. And then also, do you see, like, the best round to show this, because I was doing a live view, was I actually called exactly what he was going to do. Do you remember the round when he was lower and he was holding off, like, the people coming in from, like, the ramp area to come and plant lower? And I even said on the fucking live stream, right, this is where, if you're magixx, you'd never do a real peek here. You're only peeking to bait them to keep chasing you around that silo while you're right around the back of it, you know, the bomb spot. And then all you're doing is peeking out so that they do the shot and then you dive back in and you waste like 2 more seconds while they run down. Because that's the scenario where normal players, loads of players, by the way, even maybe on Spirit, will just peek. And if they get the headshot, they win the round. If they get fragged, the sight's open and you probably lose that round or you're in a bad scenario. He was playing it picture perfect. And then, by the way, on the upper sight, that was like, because I didn't know this reference, that was like some 1.6 Taz shit where he was like the god of the hot. Like anytime he was on the hot, he wasn't the best player, but I'm tell you what, he looked like it on that map. You could never get in the sight. He would always reposition. He would take the kill at the door, then get the guy at the hut, then he'd get the guy at mini. Like that was some of the. So the problem is, I do actually rate magixx's brain. Like his brain looks fucking mega, mate. Also, to have the wherewithal to actually do those things in a major finals, bonkers. The problem is, the fragging is complete fool's gold because, again, he didn't just do like a good one. His numbers were like what people like Simple and Nico Dream are doing in the finals. Like, he's actually like plus 30 in the finals, guys. And it wasn't like a plus 30, like it's a low fragging series. Didn't he get like 80 kills or 70 kills? Insane over like 3 maps. Like, it was inhuman. It really was, like, I'm joking, like a life game. So my issue is, one, you can't expect that to happen again. I sort of agree with Kasad. Maybe that buys him, like, you know, the kind of 8 tail, the first part of the next season. Then lastly, I'll just quickly switch to the kyousuke part. I don't claim to watch the academy level, so everyone's just told me the whole time, the whole year, this guy's basically like Donk. Now, there are people I saw, I think Nero maybe speculated about this, who claim maybe you could make the two of them work. Like, maybe then, like, if you notice, they do sometimes now put Chopper a bit more first instead of Donk. Maybe the kyousuke guy goes first and then Donk cleans up, which by the way might work, or vice versa. The problem is, I sort of agree with Kasad. To me, you're sort of getting the same player there, though, but you're taking out a smart, like, part of the structure. And so that's the issue I have. I don't think either work totally, but I think also, like, to me, I think the solution's something else. It's like a Zontix move, or I don't even fucking know at this point in time.
Just the only move there is Zontix, right? And if they want to really go crazy with changing the IGL, but that's even crazy.
You know, I think the actual reason why... I'll give you a quick reason. I think I know the reason why everyone's so horny for this move to happen. Because do you remember, you'll all remember this, do you remember before we came back into the offline world was when all the Academy League was running? And you remember, Monacy already was easily the best Academy League player, if you don't remember. Like, he was fucking bonkers. And everyone used to say, but you can't put him in Na'Vi though, can you? Because you got Simple. And I actually know that if you're a Na'Vi fan now, you're like, oh, fuck, we could have had that guy. So I think everyone wants to be greedy and just keep all the stars, and they think like, why would we like sell kyousuke to add up Virtus Pro when we could have like both to make it work? But the problem is, what Kasad's sort of getting at, I do sort of agree with, it's really hard to make 2 players like that work. And even though people are going to say, yeah, but he's young and he's malleable, no, but you're picking him up for what he showed you now, though. You're not picking him up for something he hasn't done yet. You're picking him up to be like Donk, basically. So I actually do think it might be tricky to make it work in a team. I don't know if I would do it or not, though, but who knows?
No, absolutely not. Also, tell me, can you name 5 players? What did we have? 19 majors, right? 20?
There was 19 in CS2, there was 2 in CS2.
21.
So 21 total. How many players in the grand finals of the, every 21 of the fucking majors had plus 30 on the scoreboard?
Pretty sure, if I had to guess, unironically, it's probably not even 5. Like, that might be, like, maybe Simple, like an Olaf Meister in his prime. Like, there's not many, though, because think about it, mostly the finals are a pretty nervy game. Like, you don't tend to pop off in that. Yeah.
The guy dropped plus 30 in the grand final. Like, and we are talking about like removing him. That is why it's a great hot take. But yeah, keep going as usual. Listen, it's always going to be this way. That's what I like. That's what if we made progress, what would that be? Let's just stay in purgatory of hot take. I have to fucking be insane for this.
I know. This whole show, you have to understand, is just you going to the dentist once about 3 years ago, and as you're going under from the anaesthetic, the rest of your life was like, listen, obviously you didn't go to fucking Indonesia and play with a team called Bleed. It doesn't even make sense, mate. They'd be called Bleed and then they'd have no money at the end, like they're bleeding money. Like, the whole thing's Huxley became the IGL G2 and he won like Cat Owen's Claw. This is a bad dream, mate. Thorin was right about 7 times. Fuck, listen, you're going to wake up in a minute and go, what's that? And they're going to go, Kasad, quick, we're about to play what's it? Vanguard in the semi-finals of Starlight in Berlin. Have you got the veto ready? He's like, oh boy. Little JKS there. Little JKS there, hasn't even been broken, still just all the youth, all the light in his eyes. Azza there, like, hey Kasad, I'll always have a career as long as you're around, mate. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.